I'll just start off by saying hopefully we can stay away from the future stuff. I'm not going to answer anything. I understand you might ask, but I'm just not going to answer anything. I want to try and keep the focus on this weekend and Manly and hopefully the celebration of this weekend. So I hope you can understand that. Thank you.
Daly, we saw out there.
What has 300 match mean to you and what kind of celebration?
Yeah, well, I guess first and foremost, what does it mean? I mean, it's more than a childhood dream. You sort of start off just by wanting one, and then you sort of persist. You get a taste of it, and then you get more ambitious. And you know, along the way, I reckon I dreamt to play as many games as Cliff Lyons and Steve Menzies, the legends of these clubs. So definitely along the way, I was inspired by the people that have come before me, and I think now that I'm here myself, it is a little bit of a pinch myself moment, and I guess I'm proud of the journey, proud of the ups and downs, and everything that's come with it. And I think the other part to it is the joy that it's brought my friends and family, and they've ridden the wave as well. So sometimes it hasn't been great, but they've also been there for the great moments as well. So I think that's the best way to summarise what it all means so far.
Daly, after 15 years of professional footy, training in the wet never gets old, does it? So you be smiling.
Yeah. I just said to the fellas, I thought that might have been maybe the wettest training session I've ever been involved with. That was unbelievable. So we've had some practice of it lately, I guess, with everyone living in Sydney would know about that. But that was as wet as it gets. But it was great to see the boys just embrace it and get out there and smile. And still, we still got some really good training done today, but there was definitely a lighter side to it when it's so wet.
After last weekend, having the milestone this weekend, is it easy to get over? Does it make it easier to get over disappointment?
I would say one of the things that you're able to do after this many games is you still get disappointed, you still get frustrated, you still get sad, but you just learn to not stay in those states for long or long enough to let it ruin the next week. So I think instantly after the games, when it's its rawest, and then from there you've got to unpack it, watch your video with your teammates and on your own, and that process for me has become a lot easier. But in the moments and after the game, they're still quite raw and still quite emotional. But I think what I've learned is I just don't stay sad or angry or frustrated for long enough to ruin my week. So so this week's already moved on. Last week, was so disappointing. But the new week comes around so quickly in footy, so the focus has gone straight to what we can control this week, and that's going out there and playing well. We're back here, we're back at home. It's a place that I know I hold so close to my heart. So the fans have been amazing this year, filling the hill. There was that wet game we had against the Chooks the other week, and I couldn't believe how many people come to watch the footy and sat on the hill in the rain. So a lot of love and admiration for the fans, and I think we owe them something this weekend.
Does that include moving on from probably the season not going to end the way you hoped it might, Daly, the last season here again?
What was that again, sorry?
Well, you talked about moving on. Does that include moving on from and making peace with the fact that maybe the season won't end in that fairy tale way you might hope for?
I mean, unfortunately, I've had experience of not making finals, so that's also something I've learned from over the years, is how to process that. And it is really important that we have come in, Burbs. I think it is really important to know, like, when there's still hope, you need to hang on to that, because hope's a really important part of sport and chasing a result. So we still have a glimmer of hope, and we are going to hold on to that, and I hope that comes out through our performance this weekend. So when it is all said and done and your season is officially over, that's usually quite difficult to take, but as I mentioned before, there is the slightest of hope, and that is all you need sometimes in footy.
Will it feel a little bit bittersweet at all, Ches, running out to this place that you know so well, and the fans who know you so well, knowing that the end is pretty close now?
I mean, it's going to be difficult and different for a lot of people, but I'm not the first player to move on from the club. There's been some far greater Manly personalities that have moved on from this club before my time, so it's not as if they don't know how to deal with it when it comes to moving on from their the players that they might have enjoyed watching. I know personally it'll be hard for me when the time comes, but I actually feel like I'm going to be pretty clear on separating the two. Like this weekend I feel like is a great way for me to celebrate a milestone, whereas a farewell as such, I feel like there's an opportunity for that in the next couple of weeks, but not this weekend. So I guess that's how I've sort of framed it. Yeah, this week's not a farewell. This week's more of celebration for the milestone, and then we can all laugh and cry on the hill together maybe in the last round of the year.
You spent all your NRL career as a Manly Seagull. How do you reflect and how do you hope you'll be remembered?
The piece on how you get remembered, I think at the end of the day, all you want to be known for is a reliable teammate that could do his job and be counted on. So I think that's the main thing you want to walk away with when it comes to how you want to be remembered. But the thing I'm going to take away is the connections, the friendships, the relationships. That's always the hardest thing. But I guess that's the thing that you, over time, realise is that there's players that I've played with that have since gone on and retired, but the relationship and friendship has still stayed strong. So I trust that that's still going to happen with a fair few of the playing group I've got right now.
Some listeners through has spent 15 years or so trying to work out who Daly Cherry-Evans is. Do you reckon you sort of nailed it? Like you always kept something up your sleeve, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think by nature, Reedy, like I am very, very private. And I think over the later part of my career, I've tried to give the media and journalists a bit more of an insight, only because I believe that you guys are the link between us and the fans. So I think for the fans' sake, I've tried to show them a bit more. And, have I really showed my true colours through the media? Probably not. But I guess there's also a part of me that really enjoys when I'm at the pub and someone comes up to me and we have a chat and then they go, geez, you're not what I thought you were. So I think I sort of like that a little bit.
Because people say you love a beer and when you're in the pub away from us blokes, and you're a pub guy, you're good fun to be around, love a beer. And
I guess the privacy thing has always been around trying to protect myself. As you can understand, like I've had some pretty sort of rocky times through media. So I guess my first thing to do is to just protect myself, and that usually just means don't tell or do anything and just lock it down. But yeah, so I guess over time I've tried to give more of myself for the fans, but I do feel as though my best work's just done face to face with someone.
Chaz, you talked about the ups and downs, maybe 350 games, so there's a lot of moments, but do you have, what's your most favourite moment at the club, and then what about the downs? I mean, has this year been the toughest time for you? Like, what has been the toughest time for you?
Toughest time. We've had a few at this club, so there's not one. I'd say I couldn't say there's one. What I will say about the tough moments or the losses or the seasons you don't make finals is they're where I've learned the most about myself and the club and my teammates. They're really hard in the moment. Sometimes it's really hard to find perspective when things are really difficult and you're losing games and everyone's into you externally. But it's actually where you learn the most about yourself and what you stand for. And also you learn what sort of teammate you are, what other teammates look like when pressure hits. So yeah, those moments, I reckon I can look back now and say some of them have helped define me, who I am as a person, the difficult times. But I must admit, for as much as I've learned in them, I do enjoy winning footy games more. And when you talk about highlights, we've had some great runs here the last few years. That year when we were living up in Queensland in 2021, in like a really different and difficult situation for everyone with COVID, we found a lot of joy in being together and living in Queensland and playing some really good footy. My first year, I think, obviously will just stay with me for such a long time. To win a premiership at this club is something I'm so proud of. It's got such rich history here. So to be able to, go away, I'll retire and be old, and hopefully one day I can, bring my grandkids here and sort of point to something on the wall and say I was a part of this one day. So I leave with a lot of special memories and a lot of tough ones as well, but they're not all too bad for you in the end.
Daly, if you had the
season been for you? I imagine when you announced you weren't going to stay around, you maybe thought the season, the way the spread was up, go one way. maybe have gone differently? How do you reflect on this sequence?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I find it really hard to reflect during the season. I guess I do my best work at the end of it when it comes to thinking about what it was or what it could have been. But this season, definitely hasn't panned out the way we thought it was. And there are so many moving pieces in a footy team and a footy season. And I reckon you need a lot of hard work and you need a lot of luck. And we've worked hard, but we haven't had the luck. I think you need to really press forward and like I said, there's still hope, so I haven't completely written off this season, but it is going to be extremely difficult. But we've got to go out there and do our best for the next 3 weeks. But emotionally, yeah, it's evoked different emotions at different times. But like I said, being a bit older and understanding, it's okay to feel emotions, but it's just not staying in those states, whether it's sad or happy. You sort of want to make sure you sort of got good balance. So yeah, this season's been different emotionally, but I feel like I do a pretty good job of just making sure I focus on the things that I can control, which is coming to training and playing footy on the weekend and going home and trying to be a good dad.
Daly, you reached 350 this weekend. Do you dream to reach 400?
At the moment, it does seem like it's so far away, but I think deep down I had the same feeling at 300. I thought, that looks so far away, but before you know it, you keep persisting, and before, you're here again. So I'll never say never on those things, but the reality is I actually just don't know how long I'm going to keep playing for, and it would be crazy for me to think any more than just year to year. So if I was to get there, a lot of things would have to go right, but yeah, it's pretty ambitious, isn't it? But I think for right now, I'm just going to enjoy 350 and see where that takes me.
Does it make you reflect at all on the decision to leave when you're getting so close to the end and got this big milestone, everyone's sort of celebrating, you're rallying around at the club? Does it make you, do you have that thought at the second thought sort of?
Like any big life decision, you are always going to wonder if that's the right call. But I didn't just make that decision overnight, if that makes sense. I sat on the decision for a while before it. So yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be all right. Yeah.
Daly, I know you don't want this press conference to be overshadowed by the talk about your future. Obviously, until you make a decision, people will talk about it. Do you know in yourself when you will make your decision public?
Not really. No, I just know now's not the right time. Yeah.
Cheers, good luck. We have to leave it there, guys. Good luck on Sunday. One.
Daly, if you had the option to change how everything played out this year, the initial announcement, everything after that, would you go back and change how it was done?
I think I've been through bigger decisions than this one. I thought the one earlier in my career was a bigger one, and I've got no regrets for that one, so I reckon I'll have no regrets for this one.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
Ben, can you describe what Daly's like as a teammate and a captain?
Yeah, obviously, he's a great leader, great person, great family man, and yeah, he's been great for this club. And to celebrate his 350 this week, it's a special moment for himself, the club, and his family.
You probably grew up celebrating the 2011 premiership as a fan, watching Daly.
Yep.
And then play alongside him. What kind of moment has that been like for you as a fan of the club?
No, yeah, it's been great. He's such a leader. He's willing to help me personally, help the younger boys, and yeah, he's been honestly so great for this club, and he really deserves this moment. And this Saturday, we're just going to go out and play for him, and hopefully the result goes our way.
Do you have a favourite moment yourself, personally, with Daly?
I think my first try, he passed me the ball, so that's probably it.
Benny, you talk about how much of an impact he's had. How hard is it to lose a bloke that's had that kind of impact?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's very sad to lose him at the end of the year, but yeah, it's always impact on the team, but we've obviously got someone else coming in. But yeah, he's been such a great leader for this club, for our team, and we'll miss him, but that's what happens in footy.
A little bit emotional when you say goodbye?
No, yeah, it'll be emotional, obviously not have him here next year, but we'll catch up and we'll see him plenty of other times.
Your brother, Jake, we saw him out there training in the rain today. How's he been, obviously, this week?
Yeah, obviously he's been alright. Obviously, he's had a few concussions this year, which is not good to see. But yeah, I think it's just a week-to-week thing. I'm not too sure what the actual medical side of it is, but he's in good spirits, and yeah, he's just got to keep working hard, and yeah, he'll be back eventually.
How worried do you boys get when you see him have so many concussions?
Yeah, it is. It's not great. Obviously, I wasn't playing that game because I was concussed the week before, but I was watching at home, and it wasn't great. And he's had a few bad ones this year, which is obviously sad to see. But that's footy. The way he plays, he's going to get them concussions because he goes in so hard. But at the end of the day, it's just footy, and the medical staff will sort him out and be all good.
Is he a hard one to keep off the field for his own good?
Yeah, he is very hard to keep off the field. He's very passionate, and we obviously miss him out there. But yeah, he's very hard to keep off the field.
Do you get a sense he wants to get going for a few more years, maybe?
I think so. You'd have to ask him. I don't really talk about it with him or Tom, but I think so. I assume so, yeah.
How important will his leadership be, obviously, after Daly?
Yeah, it's very important. Obviously, he's been vice-captain for a number of years. Yeah, he's a very important leader of our forward pack, and he's a great leader of the team, and he's a good clubman. So, yeah, it'll be very important going forward, his leadership.
I'm sure you...
No, good.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned this weekend, like, how do you get yourselves up after such a disappointing loss when there is a slight glimmer of hope, knowing that you have to win this weekend?
Yeah, well, it's NRL. We've got to get up for it every week. Obviously, we've been disappointed the last few weeks, and so we'll use that as motivation. And obviously, it's Chez's milestone, so everyone will be out there playing for him. It's such a special achievement for himself and his family. And so, yeah, we'll just go out there and we'll play hard for him.
I'm sure you're not immune to how much pressure the club is under at the moment. Has there been much talk about that internally?
No, not at all. We just rock up every day. We're all mates, and just rock up here ready to train. And yeah, we don't listen to the outside noise.
How do you say about Seems? Do you still back him as a coach?
Yeah, 100%. He's such a great coach, great guy, and he's been so good for this club, and I 100% back him, and I'm sure the club does too.
What do you like about him as a coach?
Oh, he cares for you. He cares for you personally, and he's been very good for me. He's given me a lot of details in my game to improve on, and he honestly just cares about every one of us personally.
I saw all the players wearing the socks out there today of the junior rugby league clubs. They're celebrating the junior league this weekend. How important was the Manly-Warringah Raiders to you and your brothers?
Yeah, it was important. They didn't give me any socks. I gave them to Tom. But Manly-Warringah Raiders has been so important for me and my brothers, my whole family. It's all about junior club, and we love representing them, and we try and get down there and help as much as we can. And yeah, so it'll be great this weekend to represent them.
Do you think Daly's copped a fair bit of harsh criticism for the way the season has gone?
Honestly, I didn't even know he was copping criticism on it. I don't really look at the media, but I think it is a bit harsh if they are, yeah, definitely.
All good. Thanks,
Maybe.
mate.
Bully, how do you feel being the smartest man in rugby league?
I don't know if I'm the smartest man. I think that'd be a pretty tough thing to figure out. But yeah, it's nice getting acknowledged, I guess, for some of that work I do away from footy. Something I'm very passionate about, and the NRL, the RLPA, all the organisations in and around the game who have provided so much support financially for me, paying course fees and so forth, and then also, I guess, just with advice and support in general from wellbeing and net officers, across both the Broncos when I was there, and then Manly. I've been fortunate to have some good mentors, some good role models and things who've pointed me in the right direction, and yeah, it's nice to be acknowledged for some of that work. I don't think it's why you do it. Obviously, internally it's something I enjoy and have a passion for, but yeah, it was nice.
How important is it for players in this day and age to have a second?
Yeah. Well, I think it's incredibly important. Like, there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, the obvious one is everyone says footy's not forever, right? But I think besides from that, I think it adds a lot of perspective. It adds a lot of balance to your life. Like, obviously footy, I've said it before, but footy can be pretty intense and pretty all-consuming. So sometimes, it's nice to just, get away from that sort of environment, go talk to someone, I'll go in the office and there'll be guys there who, it doesn't matter whether you won or lost, they just stoked to have a conversation about footy or ask me what such and such is like, and I think, that adds a bit of perspective, and yeah, I enjoy the balance of it.
Given what the last month has been like, it's probably been nice to have that distraction, but you go from the side that had your finals future in your own hands, how tough it been?
Well, yeah, obviously the last 4 weeks haven't gone how we wanted. I think, as Chaz said earlier, I don't think we've had any lack of effort here. We've all been turning up and trying really hard. It's a game that sometimes requires a bit of luck, and also, requires us to be, at our best every week. And I think if you look at the last 4 weeks, it's probably fair to say we haven't played to our best, those 4 weeks. So it's a demanding comp. Every team on their day can beat just about any team in the comp. So, unfortunately we haven't, quite met, I guess, the bar we set for ourselves first.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the work off the field actually was, what the courses and everything were?
Yeah, I did an undergraduate degree in finance and economics. Currently finishing off my MBA, majoring in finance at UNSW. And for the past few years, I've been going in. There's a Sydney-based hedge fund called Regal Partners. So Phil King, who heads that up, he's actually a mad Manly fan. A really great mentor and supporter of mine and the clubs. And been doing work there. Helping their team, which mostly works in that funds management space. So, a little passion.
Something you're hoping to do after footy?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, I guess that's kind of what I've been trying to lay the platform for. Like, obviously, lots can happen, I guess, in the next 4 years or however long, footy goes on for. So, we'll wait and see how things unfold. But, I think it's definitely something that I want to, forge a career in post-footy.
Has Daly got you looking after his millions?
I don't have long left to secure that, so I better get moving. No. The boys always have a good laugh, and obviously I always have to put a little disclaimer in that anything I say should not be interpreted as financial advice. Do your own research, and but I have a chat to the boys, and sometimes if I can point them in the right direction or give them a small little tip or something, that's nice. But I'll have to hit Chezza up before he heads off. I was pretty, maths inclined in high school. Did maths and science subjects mostly. I think that probably led me into that sort of finance stuff.
There's a bit said about Anthony Seabold, coach of this club in his future. What's your take on that? Do you think you should be the coach of this club long term? Yeah, absolutely. I have a great personal relationship with Seibs. I have a great professional relationship with Seibs, and he's probably coached me for the majority of my first grade games. I think he's got a great work ethic. He runs a very comprehensive program, which gives us, I think, every opportunity to play to our best footy. And I think another great strength that he has, touching back on that, things outside of footy and people's life outside of footy. I think he's a great people person in the way that he can separate, I guess, the player you are and the performances you put out on the weekend from the person you are as an actual individual, and be able to come in and you might not have had your best game on the weekend, but still ask about your family or your study or whatever's going on outside of that. I think that's a really a really good quality to have in a head coach. Who obviously has to have 36 people all trying to subscribe to what he's saying.
Has the criticism of Seibs been unfair this year?
Well, look, to be honest, I don't read that much press.
There's chat out there.
Yeah, obviously there's a bit of pressure. I think, look, the nature of this game, I think, is obviously when the public perception is that a team hasn't aimed up to where they should, which is obviously probably the case for us, I think it's fair to say. The number one person who I think can come under fire is often the head coach. It's probably at times it's unfair and maybe not called for. A huge amount of that rests back on us, the playing group. He, like I said, I think him and our coaching staff give us every opportunity to go out and play well. So I think we've got to definitely, we're all in it together. That's what we mostly talk about, right? We've all got to shoulder the burden, right from, I guess, the CEO all the way down to the bottom. So we all shoulder the burden together. We're all responsible for the results we generate as a club, and we'll win together and we'll lose together. And I think the main thing is we're really focused on the next 3 games, playing and winning as many of those as we can, and then go from there.
Can Manly still play finals?
Well, I think they said mathematically we're a chance. So look, again, I'm not that across the draw. I understand at the moment it's looking like it'll be quite hard. But the only thing we can control is, like I said, going out and if we win 3 from 3, well, there's nothing more we can do. So that's the goal at the moment. Take it week by week, but starting for win this weekend would be great.
Thanks, Molly. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.